This video is for my students of ECON100 tutorials of week 2 because I didn't manage to show you how to use Excel to create demand and supply curves or demand and supply schedules using Excel because the computer ran too slowly. So here it goes. These were the two tasks I want to do here. First, I'll show you how to create demand and supply curve plots, and then next we'll move on to how to develop demand supply schedules. So let's start with question 2 here. I have already input the data into Excel. So to create a plot, the simplest way is to go to the menu Insert, and we want a scatter plot with the dots connected. So this is the one we wanted. Scatter plots with straight lines. Click on it, and Excel will automatically plot the data for you. But if you notice, there is something wrong with this plot. Now we have the quantities on the vertical axis and the prices on the horizontal axis. But this is not how we do demand and supply curves in economics. So in economics we want the price to be on the vertical axis and the quantities to be on the horizontal axis. So we need to switch those two axes. And how do we do that? So if you go to this plot area, right click, and you could select data, which will bring you a dialog box. So here we have two series of data, and we need to edit the first, and so 3 boxes we need to fill in here. So let's call this series demand curve, and we need to select our x values, which are the values that will be presented on the horizontal axis. So that should be our quantity demanded. So you just click and select the whole series of quantity demanded, and it will automatically come in this box. For the y's, which should be our prices, now clear it, go to the data and select it, and automatically it's brought up in this box. Click OK, and do the same for our supply curve. So edit the supply curve by give it a name, supply curve, and input x values, which are quantity supplied, and y values are our prices. OK and OK. So there we go. That's the right demand supply curves we wanted, with the prices on the vertical axis and quantities on the horizontal. If you want to make this diagram a little fancier, a little nicer, you could choose different layouts. So here you can see there are a list of chart layout forms. Usually this one would look nice. You can give it a title, say demand and supply for bicycles, and edit our y-axis title to be price, and on the horizontal axis we should have quantity. And there it goes. So that's the plot we wanted. If you want to start from scratch, you can do this manually. So I'll delete this plot now and do it manually. So go to Insert, Scatter plot with straight lines, and Excel will give you a blank chart. Right click on the chart area, select data, and you can see there's nothing there, but you need to add in the data. So first series, call it demand, x values are select quantity demanded, y values are, select prices, OK, and add another, card supply, x values are quantity supplied, y values are, clear them, select prices, and OK. So there we go. We would have the same plot as before. You could edit the layout, of course. So that's how to create demand supply curves. In question 4, we need to create a demand and supply schedule given a demand and supply function and a list of prices. So how do we do that? So we have a function here. We can basically ask Excel to calculate value for us without having to manually doing this by ourselves. So we want Excel to evaluate or calculate something. So go into this cell, double click, and put in an equality symbol. So this tells Excel to evaluate my expression here. And so the demand here should be 1600 minus 300 times the price level here, which should be 0.05. You could manually put in the number, but an easier way is just to click this cell. Click this cell, and you will see a blue A6 will come up. That means we'll call the contents in column A, row 6, which is 0.05, and hit enter. Then we will have the calculation results. You could do the same for the rest of the cells, but you can ask Excel to run it automatically for you. Now, if you move the cursor to this point, when it becomes a black cross, if you notice, when it becomes a black cross, double click it, and Excel will automatically fill in the rest of the cell for you, the rest of the cells for you until the end of the table. If you're not sure, let's say double click the second cell. Now it's doing the calculation of 1600 minus 300 times the cell column A, row 7, which is the associated price level. So it's quite intelligent in this way. And you could do the same for supply. Now enter, and we have the result, and then filling. Okay, so this is how we can automatically create or fill in the demand and supply schedules using Excel. So I want you to do the same, create and fill in this whole table and create plots for demand, previous and new ones, and supply functions. So I'll leave this exercise to you.